Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating app called Text Utilities Pro. And trust me, that word pro, well, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
You know how it is, right? You're constantly using your phone for quick notes. But have you ever just hit a wall with it? Like, you try to do something just a little more complex. Maybe replace a bunch of words at once or clean up a messy text file, and you just realize, yeah, the basic Notepad app ain't gonna cut it.
And that's exactly the problem Text Utilities Pro claims to solve. It builds itself as, get this, a complete Swiss Army knife for your text, right on your Android phone. So the big question we're asking today is simple. Does it actually deliver on that promise? Is all that power really usable? Let's dig in.
All right, so first things first. What exactly is this thing? According to the developer, WS Apps, one thing's for sure. It's not just another Notepad app.
Yeah, let's be super clear here. This is not for jotting down your grocery list. We're talking about a whole collection of heavy-duty, specialized tools all packed into one app. It's for folks who are seriously working with text and need to do it from their phone.
So who's the target audience here? Well, think about developers who need to clean up code snippets away from their desk, or content creators trying to format an article on the fly. Maybe even data analysts prepping text files for a project. The whole idea is to give you that desktop-level power for processing text, but in your pocket. Okay, now for the fun part. What can this Swiss Army knife actually do? Let's get into the features, because honestly, they're pretty impressive on paper.
So the app has more than 12 different utilities, which sounds like a lot, but you can really break them down into 3 main buckets. A full half of its features are all about manipulating and transforming your text. The other half is split down the middle between security features and file management. Right away, that tells you where the developer's focus is.
Let's zoom in on some of these manipulation tools, because this is where it gets wild. We're not just talking about a simple find and replace. No, we're talking multi-replace, where you can make a ton of different replacements all in one go. Or what about converting text to uppercase, lowercase, proper case, sentence case, you name it, it's there. These are some serious time savers. And then there's this. This is a huge one. If you're dealing with anything sensitive, client notes, a personal diary, whatever it is, this app gives you 128-bit AES encryption. That's a really strong industry-standard way to lock down your text. It even uses a password and something called a salt, which is basically just some random data thrown in to make it even harder for anyone to crack. For privacy, that is a massive feature.
Okay, stick with me, because this next feature might just be the most powerful of all. It's called Incremental Find-Replace. So picture this. You have a list, and you need to number every single item, like item 1, item 2, item 3. Instead of doing that manually, you just tell the app, hey, find this pattern and replace it with numbers starting at 1 and ending at 100. And bam, it does it all at once. That's some next-level automation right there.
So let's be honest. The feature list is, wow, it's really impressive. On paper, this app sounds like an absolute dream come true for anyone who works with text. But there's a but coming, right? Is all this power the whole story? Is this really the perfect tool?
All right, time for a reality check. Let's flip the coin over and see what's happening in the real world. And for that, we're heading straight to the Google Play Store to see what actual users are saying.
And whoa, here's our first big red flag. For an app that's packed with all these pro-level features, it's got a 2.7-star average rating. That is not great. It's actually shockingly low. And that right there tells you something's up. There's a major disconnect between what the app can do and what it's like to actually use it.
And look at the download count. Just over 500. This isn't a blockbuster app by any stretch. It tells us this is a super niche tool. The kind of thing you only seek out if you are desperate for its specific, powerful features. Maybe so desperate you're willing to put up with some problems.
But wait, it's not all bad. Buried in the Play Store listing is something really positive. The developer makes a very clear promise on data safety. They don't share your data, and they don't even collect it. In this day and age, that is a huge plus. It shows they really do care about the user, which honestly just makes this whole story even more complicated and interesting. Okay, so the numbers tell one story, but let's get into the why. What are the actual problems that are dragging that rating down? It's time to hear from the users themselves.
And this first review from a user named Matt pretty much sums it all up. He says, good array of tools, but, and here's the kicker, it needs a copy button. Can you believe that? You can perform all these incredibly complex text transformations, but then you have to manually select all the text and copy it yourself. A super powerful engine is being crippled by the lack of the most basic button.
And it's not a one-off complaint.
Here's another user saying pretty much the same thing. They can't easily paste from the clipboard in a text utility app. It's just a massive oversight. It's the same story again. All this incredible power under the hood, but the basic controls you need to actually use it are missing or clunky.
All right, so we've seen both sides of Text Utilities Pro. On one hand, you have this incredibly powerful, feature-packed machine, and on the other, you have a frustrating, clumsy user experience. So what's the final verdict? Let's put it all together.
When you lay it out like this, the contrast is just stark. The promise? A pro-level toolbox with amazing features like AES Encryption and multi-replace. The reality for users? A quirky, kinda powerful tool that's completely kneecapped by the simplest things, like not having a copy button. It's a tale of two very different apps in one.
What this all boils down to is a classic dilemma you see in software all the time. It's the trade-off between functionality and user experience. Do you add more and more powerful features, or do you focus on making the features you have smooth, polished, and easy to use? Text Utilities Pro went all in on functionality, and the user experience clearly took a back seat.
So that leaves us with a final question, and this one's for you. Think about the tools you use every day. What do you value more, raw power or a polished experience? Are you the kind of person who will wrestle with a clunky interface to get access to incredible features? Or do you prefer a simpler tool that just works perfectly every single time? It's a really interesting question. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.